the name should have been there. Then again, court orders stay of execution over Adringano Botiman property claims. And National House of Chiefs petitioned to expunge
Banka Hines
name from register of chiefs. Oh, okay. And I say, oh yeah, Bamia Rocks NPP base in Eastern region urges Ghanaians to adopt a mindset of possibilities. Now, Geogatic committee report on Black Shield recommends insurance for securities transaction. Sana or can and not pay. If you want now can over.
Dear me fan you know the minimum case actually.
Oh,
minimum common for saying can you say
no Nipa Munich two
IGP deputy now
two different individuals at the local court and they are buying over the attorney general through that buying the local court. Say court to them prevent you no from serving as deputy IGP in charge of operations.
Any position be as
exactly. It's court. That is why I don't know whoever is saying this thing. That is why the person is saying Omunjano. Because in any case, already out in the baby. And on deputy IGP in charge of operations. In charge of operations, and I want a problem. No. Deputy IGP that any problem.
Only IGP Nankasa Benya conflict. No,
conflict. The point is that we have a director general in charge of operations at the Ghana Police Service. It's one no urban as a deputy IGP in charge of operations. Or by then,
okay.
About what director general, and that is a appointee will be as a deputy IGP. Pay the police man. The person is not in charge of anything.
Yeah,
you are just a deputy IGP.
Yeah,
that's all. You
don't have any special rule. No?
Exactly. You don't have any special rule. And also you're deputy IGP. People are making the argument that can we also have a deputy IGP in charge of warfare? A deputy IGP in charge of administration?
Yeah.
Because we have director general for all these things. There were director general for administration, director general for warfare, director general for operations. It's adding to 1.2 be so on the director general in charge of operations.
Not as the director general or reporter my IGP Fufuri Awabeyana. Because IGP need to
we don't know.
Into the director general and reporter manana.
We don't know.
We don't know. Also, much we said the Edu say na do ha adwen kakra ne be ha ne yonko say adwuma no yen to me designation yen to me ankyerem say Kwesi ba flask brown ni e na onye hu adwuma akua ba onye nsuo yi ni bottle yi hu adwuma na ye tuguma na ye position ni mamu a de o ha adwen wo no be ha ba
exactly
Edu say do opre no obe ha ne yonko ebi o adwuma mu say so bi pri o obo just to impress aha o person impress ne boss sa ya fa na adwuma nti so ma obi a ne designation say oba de bia no be paper table yi so oba ya no de ne raga ba no be paper table so ba be hye cameras dey mo ka se munyina mo ko studio adwuma why na be so TV ama ho ya platform
exactly
na ko ya sem
exactly that's where the issue is. Bamia Rocks NPP base region, yes.
Ekropon em so ko Samia constituency na enipa ho pa won
super
I see mete ho asem
Samia ku see NDC for on was a cocotti beam. Only yet to be sad, I was a cocotti beam. No minima, no minima, court. People for the home. And I'm of course, I want to 2012. In fact, you see, there are a lot of people were there. I almost went there, but now I almost got there, but that's what it is. You're next paper, sort of pay. Is there any next paper? The Daily Dispatch said, I will come back after 4 years for renewal. Mahama will not come back. Bamia to swing voters. I see a photograph of Papa G.
Oh.
Dr. Boom.
And more who you are.
What you say? Dr. Boom. I say book review. Revolution and Democracy in Ghana. The Politics of Jerry Rawlings. It's a book I would love to read. Yeah. Let us work together during elections to make Ghana proud. IGP Dampare and the Kasasemu.
Me the befi IGP Dampare dey no so. Em say oh ye di police for hu commander we so assign abem. eka waka semu emi nim ba bi oka no ne adekore mane kan ye na emu me de me hwe ne police perspective nko a me fa police perspective nko a ne behwe yen citizenry no yan so ye ka ho esan se wo anya wasade ne me anya masade a ye be ma police fo abre
true
enti police fo ehwe se mbe maintain law and order no na yen so aye yo mamu anatemamu fo manfo no yeso ye hwe se ye be di mra ne so amai bebre ana amai bi no mu a ye se police eni hɔ a obia wudu usika drop it off from crab aba the next day na that's that one
Dubai
self discipline yeah
Dubai
obia ampo bia de me se me police for etiti ka mu giregira nche mi say na omo be den ye say omo mbe bo fam kwa police for ni ni adwuma ye wo ho sa na meka no obia di ni huni ade a che no pe obia sori ko na adwuma e bo ne homoden onkofo obia de onkokum onipa wonkoye obia hwe na say Ghana etumi ye ni say bia ebeti police for cra pressure so ama beboa ye yankasa nso ama sitting makoye especially ye nanti towards general elections awa fi mu no ye hia se wo se ye ma ye ni eda ho na police for nso de ombetimi aye no omonche mfa mo aye nti IGP dan pare asam na waka no ebia no okache police for ba me de magia ma ye nyina aye ho se police for
chefa I think he's talking about everybody so let us work together let us ye nyina ye nkan
bia nyini ho ahemfo ka ho asofo ka ho politicians ka ho ya yire ye ho ya
journalists ka ho
ye kra de ye be 50% na dodo na aka ni nyina nso aye 50% o ma 50% na aka no ye wia Ghana na ewi ni na ye koye ni ena 4 years na so be back na Dr. Bawumia de no enye ne nkwa na mate se o ka ho asem ba bi onam bia o ka ho asem se obesan aba na obi a omma bi o mebu akonta nkyere mu no obeye bibia keke because okwa o mebu akonta mfa nkyere bia ono so kwa the next 4 years no nyame ma ye nkwa obesan aba besere Ghana for di ni dwa ato aba se Ghana for nto ane so na akoye ne o matro ka Ghana for be refail eno ne Trump card a wode na ma wo ka ho asem me gidi say in a way na to asumu but say ebeye sa ama no say enye sa e wo Ghana for nche
Ghana for nche we'll move on with that na if there are any other papers we can just get on to that quickly. Oh, daily graphic this morning Metro my status the other time said I love Nanado. I just love him. Nanado say
you're consistent
in Nkrumah not so nations founder Akufo stairs debate Bahama State we will resist attempt to rewrite country's history. Road to election 2024 expects a right of minority parties and stakeholders call for more housing fairs. Then there's a photograph of our very own Jin Mensa. I say women heads of electoral bodies must consolidate democracy. Yeah, all canon. I will take it from a year Nanado. Now, let us be frank with the president. Let's be very frank with the president. Ultimately, it's Ghana history. All across the world. The only name they mention is Kwame Nkrumah. I am not here to say, independence as for struggle of independence. We shouldn't acknowledge them. We should acknowledge them. However, in every circumstances, there is one person who stands tall. One person who stands tall. And in this case, Kwame Nkrumah. We know that JB Dankwa, at the time I heard independence, or a letter from UK for, said they should stop Kwame from getting independence for Ghana. We know. He opposed it. We know. Per the issue, we know. It's, if you are talking about founding fathers,
Kwesi.
You remember Papawe, Kwesi Hayford.
Yeah.
You remember Minister Sabamo.
Yeah.
I'm on the chassis.
Almost say Aborigines time.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's in August 4.
Almost say.
And no August 4.
And UG Aborigines in the moon and UGCC free by.
And no August 4.
Now maybe the no say.
No August 4.
I didn't Yirame. Yeah, Yirame say. Yesuya. Adena amanya omunya independence close to 300 years. Omu history enti safra befrem. na ye die ni 70 years kura ye hunu de ye de
it is because he said bisa won say
ye pese di no kura ma ye ho ana
bisa won say Ronald's time did we have this issue? No. Before time did we have this issue? No. Mills, no. Jobama, no. Why Akufo-Addo? Because Akufo-Addo person elevating the family members in Ghana. That's the whole point.
And the big six no more here for no more then. You
see, the history has not been fair to even Mensa Sabamo. Any case here for more. The history of this country has not been fair to them. Because you can't movie the real independence struggle now. You have to start from there. In fact, I have the bill. Ebuama Ghana independence. In that bill, they said that the struggle for independence started in 1901.
Aborigine Simon.
1901.
Yes,
and then August 4. It is not August 4.
1948.
1948. Say the formation of UDCC. And then no
48.
Akufo-Addo cannot tell us. You cannot tell us. August 4 no. And then we should celebrate the Bexes. The Bexes we can say there's not even Bexes.
Really?
Yes. The Bexes. It is a creation of some people. And they celebrate you, which is okay. But if you look at the real history, the people must celebrate. And you mean Sasabamo. Any case we for more. And yet the Bexes. But in any case, Akufo-Addo, Mr. President, like it or not, Dr. Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah is the founder of present-day Ghana. Like it or not, Kwame Nkrumah is the founder of present-day Ghana. Why? A period.
Independence any 70 years ago.
Kwame Nkrumah all across the world. Kwame Nkrumah founded Ghana. Nobody can come and alter this conversation and alter our history. We are going to resist it. Because we know. Independence. JB Dankwamo opposed it. How can they be celebrated today? Enyejuma.
Happy birthday, Waha.
Okay.
Ne papa. 75
Oh, great.
Henry Papa no.
75.
Henry Darko, ne Papa Mr. SB Darko. Can he GBC staff? Nto ne Papa Juma no ye no.
Wow. Oh,
Henry Papa Juma no ye no.
Raising a son like Henry.
Mr. SB Darko, former staff of Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. Every woman wo yire, wonana no mo nse onom. Yenyina so me ni Kwesi ka ho that dey ma happy birthday belated enra na your birthday happy belated birthday to you at 75 the why grandpa nana no mo fa so
grandpa
what wa na ya furu ni we tisi ni we yese nyame hia papa na o ma won kwatenten ahoden wom happy belated birthday to you.
Exactly.
Mr. SB Darko, former staff of GBC.
Therefore I na dey news personal in the best Akua is standing by for Ghana to say.
Baby adi ani kire ye ko infinfi mantam Central Region Gomoa West mensini emu kra ye fe no apam ana apa kroni din di apa na brofo ne besesa no echo no apam omanfo no haw kase pa ewo ho titi apam junction edi kosi apam kroni mu no edi fufa kosi Gomoa de rampon ene de keke ka ho omo kire se enioma hawon papa ye nsuo wada sorry krensu abenya de adware de ode ben ebedi ebe no waduane ne wodi ebe no wadrompo akoye ohaw kese e de ama omanfo no ama wo mo aka ho asem a wo nsuo sem ne firi ho a o makwan so enye ama enei omanfo na tete wona bebre na esa ho kire nti o mukura etu afiri ho no mo a ne sanso na kuro no ebo na egu omo de wasem ato aban anim apa ban bebre aba chew nanso so nyade a obi abetu ho anamon abehwe ede ama wo mo ena hometie nti wone ye nsem training na ansa edi nkomo na ansa Matthew ya wo ye mfifi mantem oton krade free hobreye ama wakote nsem ni bi ede egu ahoma so
ADC when I went abo who are yakwan a ona mrema ya ya no do je ba say demonstration de obi amba le wo boy na abante le wo me fast mo jembe e na e be da say how go mo wesi na yakwan ni wo say ya yesu frede abama boy we were 2016 ya to amama aban MPP aban mo wini 2020 sa so to abama MPP aban mo wini e to ba na e say watch national cake o mra wo me bi ya frede wo mo boy na free bibi aye pepe me ai e na block na domra na wa block kwan no enti ana ye de ma de no the best oh gas no ya wo best say because of domra wa ba ni ja e kwan na say we na wo boy na kwan no ona ya de ya kata da bia wo betu aye juma and da bia wo betu aye juma ai e be da se e abama boy na fi ya kwan no wo ya man ona ya da ya per because NDC MPP when you be na boy it is that time ma wole mbebu no ya so na ya boy ya kwan no
wa mo chaka kwan na mo ti ya fa school for ya fa yare for ta ba ko du bi all no bi yare but do su jori wo to come if for people nobody be wo to come in be for mo no ka lo to bi all amu ko be ya ta mo kita shaka so be papa e ta mo di o amu di this is special e ko ko se ya kwan e ko ka do bogu e ti se no se wa za ma me ya kwan ya kan wa obi aka se bi o ye che we group party e di 15 years enwu bi da abai ko obi ayi wa ba obobo yen je besra abai dai gomba fo ye ble ijo ntwene yi na mo hwe o sande gombo amun aho kira ba papa
8 years ni akwana sai kura anytime you also better last week Sunday or catch us a Monday or better kwano still kwano ntire you ku ye taxi driver or kwajuma actually week or so time mensa etade wo ye na pa
this is one of and one another. I'm on my second west. Okay, say year of road. Go west you will be. It's a best room. You're paying for Muguma. And you go wine from the new Omokasa. It was I actually anyway, or go west you will be that. It's a best room. I want to hear your small. Tomorrow's one no almost so many. And yes, you're small. Tomorrow, you're crying. I never come. That's it.
Abai me kama sidupi bia ni bia maka wasem de oye gomo afu ye kwan bob gomo west gomo east gomo central abai na yin ndi ye e di say na me bura so de wa so de wo block kwan na wo se faka o de wo block kwan no ye di oye kire ne di sha ban ni de moru kodu gomo ha no ye yi wanje ho gomo afu Ghana for ma ho gomo west ye kwan na say Yebi or Trump got to go Parliament. Oh, you and the people to go why where to won't you know? Media managing Media managing Medifan and what you do. Make catch oh, yeah, abide there. Yeba to abo, Yeba to aba, Yeba Yakwano, near that to aba, Yeba Yakwana that to yaba. Now, Abba make us say, Mr. Mora, all day, yet into young Kata, near the Gade, I had DC. No, the soup, other co Adam, Messa Mude. Say yesterday, you broke Quaya. I used to be a car. So, taxes, I block on in Yafata. There, maybe share there. My tax be in Yajuma. Now, that will be your man, no, or you go for hospital. Obioma, and no, that's no Akajuma. Obioma, no, that's what go school. Say yesterday, you block Quaya. Yeah, Sabi on ye. Yamma private cars in here. When you wait, no one come. They stop taxes here. We have the Dominion. Yamma assembly. We get so much. Mamma can you assembly.
abusuafo wei ayo manfo binom a ewo apam junction kosi apam kronim na fe gomoda ramp on ne mpotamo a wo so chese wakwan ne nsuo sam ayo hawma won na Matthew nana ansa ya ye nsem twani okofa ansam ne ba ye nankasa wa homa so ye no edi nkomo nana ma che na hot is an opay gomo ne mpotamo
no ya pa na ba tona
Nyankopon adom ye de nyame asese wa anopa ye nyina ya sori na ohaw no ankasa no de senka yenim se kwantempon no yesi ye akra takrado se Cape Road no wom se we wa amane mu de na omo ha omo problem na ankasa mu nkyere mu ne sen
yo that na me ya so why the what the party demo I was so man ya ko gomwa west any application the rampon on a chetin e ko hono ma ya ho sam e go pimo kumo hono mo dia no ne de ne chese mebu no mo won pete mo no otu o gu abonte to no ya church in chesha ro hono mo ya mebu ahemfu na fe adrano for won pete mo no am oya chire na me asala ya yo mu ewo apam janko apam town apam kroma akwaya ewo samptemoni na kwana atete apansama chesa driver funa passengers amona mkwano so wo ma ne pa ina ane say emse kwana from Kaswa eko Kitkus na hono eye kwantempo na so ye wo kwan bi ano no eko kwesa nkonkuru mu a ta kwan ni na no no eye futu kwan chese yenye no no na chesa driver fo ane mebu na ane ahemfo wo chemu se na nanum a hono ye politicians no the one young one, let us Afibia or better down, this year to about or the machines na the basic one so a teacher one so ye got us now, they say, obey your coin in Toronto more. Okay, that's one to about Massa, a battle, that's about Sister Bapara, Quano, the wire could never for below 2 years. And to also be there, the net to wire Quano, what to Abano, what they are Massa, Abano. Now, just what to Abano, the Mabani react. So, two come for you now, yes, what I'm saying to find. Let's say all South and South. Let's see on the driver for Parliamentary. One na Ghana buying on for young one. They do another down. Let's say on South or the passengers are one of them. I would say for car and time in the room, they look out for the minute. We are paying for if you are no one up to what you think. You say up for a final show, put down for a final and yet. And I say you could gather for one. I know very prepared me. What do in your book and what block of coin now? What more coin for time, but the time I buy the thing to let us say, the snapper, I buy you a final, let the amount coin up and do a pair extra. When I actually upon license, upon the Kuru. And what I said, this was a man. Now, this person just say, they are fine. I want to come to the fire, they want to find a quick. I have cry out, they say, the other 4 numbers. We are no final show. That's a Diana we say that we are not. We are very, let's say, 500 to be sad. That was which that 500 to be working in the room. I'll be a mobile 400 to 400 for every salon. That's why I know the message. When you want emphasis, and what one shot I any. You need to score for the bar. You know, as a level a diamond, where Mushima against it around chef, that's a our final show. That's my man, my kind and once you are father was young people, what about no, they say, what about one of them. On the baby, I will be one more. On another man, one on the white thing. The law of Blumpoint for campaign or Magina or a traditional council. As I do it, one of the more close to a crime on the ramp. And here I come from over for wire. That's why they are Kesiaga. I don't know, or the report the animal Meguno. I don't know, the baby I don't know what about wire. On the Meguno Plecon demonstration of Communion to one block of panel, and how will you crack off 1 block? That's the fact that I just find them back. So the time I buy and we say I'm packed. And you have to tell me which one I've been speaking to the wire panel down. So what you have to tell me, I buy me a pack from the 10 go to the place. Now, to go what they call me when we're about to water. You go one to go, what is the one contract? And you go one go away now. I buy a job about water. He makes you a bank where to wait to go one more. You're not double before the bank. I buy yellow water when you go one more. Because when you go want to cry, one kind of if the in industrial work they do in 20 actually yeah from you any I am one more applying yeah after what Ghana but we say go Ghana one can no I don't to account one to abandon your president in and then summer I am fully maybe one model to abandon it but I'm one insurance one plan that's why I'm not working one kind of point to Ghana to Ghana so I'm going to abandon your president I want you know for quantum to one walk to the summer what's the level of the now what you do now what you look at Indiana no over finance and you look so much as 8 years old one way what you say so what now and that's why this go one can not just on one much over that's also my blood and one with yellow tour or that go it's one more now I should say I buy no but I never show go one group now it's go one now to one up I could say I can some our petty one junior you need this for your one more restaurant I web based on also a parliamentary candidate I'm about to continue doing commercial a quite anything for capture one green book they're quite wire now so I buy you should move it quite 1 year if you only a would at the car bulletins and the first subby gamma baby let us our car bullet 20 months a final what they and Sana was Akua I already now so on that I must say to some people you can even put more on that I can't wash it let us on quarter I think you cannot say you know for me or even the time go one way it's some it's one of two any person yes you said I see about one if they full shot let us say one two any more on the right box every shot one to about on another day some of them walk what they am home.
Wow. A quino said yes, a fufu talk, quina, Adani Abrosan. A be was so maybe from Nensu Guasie, and call ye a cry.
It's a quine now. Government now, that is a quine now. Our photo, I think it's advantage, you know. That's the old and a jar of the quality. That's the one sent it to the other person. I think it's what the day one Yama. You know, on a church driver, keep and a more now, what about one them up? A bank for one more panel, $1 a bank in one may have panel, let's see for panel. Find out any yellow, we nice to like to any council. I'd rather put order of panel to and I guess that is the point. That's the only passenger. That was 4 p.m. That's everybody and everybody in car so called the rock and after a pump to your car for whatever double for Buddha Wapo. Because I had a man to ask you this about Nigeria. And okay.
Yeah, that's Papa Pananansa. I'm sure for some training Matthew Nanansa or Tom Crady Fin Mantamuna, Goma West, a pump junction, Papam Krum, Equine. A pump junction, Edico, a pump Kruna Casemu, Equine any year, Emamu, and Enco ye, and Yafe cry, a buying crochet now on Yama woman, and quite a year crown of politicians, and quite we are so number for campaign. It's a campaign no mercy form. We did nam fa, we so the nam ne defa. They are mobile quapam, and in cry bembe, Munquaya quine on infantifona becca say ye or ye nitsu, and yefe, and yefe in Mguasia cry, and yefe. Ebusa for ye the musio. Medaname one sorry, I'm a PSA laddie at the health and lifestyle a betuaso. Bidin de Asiedua, the Kwesi Asiedua, Mimuninachi, Emma Mumunishe, ye Daniel, ye ba, up next, a health and lifestyle.
asɔden wɔtɔ ya bɔden eba ne sa ye bra ye ho ase ye boye mu ase de onyame ase sabre ye the health and lifestyle bro medi e the PSC ladi ye ne counselor Collins Bonsu in fact counselor Collins Nana Bonsu ne ne ebedi nkomo Chief Executive Officer Emma PDF College or say silence sawunkasa ene sedie ni mienu eye duro pa wa abrabo mu a ebeboa faso de be na wo so eno and a counselor ebetre counselor good morning yeah that's a far what's the example though and what's the example you are an epitome of what you preach yes me adomuti that's right so one fanya adwuma anya wisdom no wisdom
yes
and what you say but awareness
once entiase ba application ba
okay
in terms of awareness kwa na obegina because obia wonya bibi ntiase no ode ye adwuma
ne obusu ni papa wa anfa anye ese e bone ma no
that's it entina last meeting we talk about the fact that we must be doers
yes
not hearers of the word alone
okay yeah that's it pa smile
yes all smiling
okay I don't know about you no pay enti asere ehu ehia yes smile and silence
yes
mfaswa ewo
yeah because adu nyankopon ase se odi ahye bosome foforo ase once the number 8 is a number of new beginning
yeah bosome nwotwe no
yes number of fresh start you can start again you can begin again it is never too late to start afresh just encourage class obehye bibia ase foforo enti ya chia ya hwefo nyina no pay na mamfa sa ekwambi so enchia me nana ohina jikum adankrenya acha me hene be kwai adankrenya nana Kwesi adano na your birthday nana onkwa so pia me nana utuyefo otretene nana enchia komo de na me chia oyere ene million mu nyina smile is important na silence is important the dientina ya shebo so me ya fofrase na ya pese ka BBC once ya nka ye hu bio se nimdie egu ahodo miensa the awareness level so we nim bibi because obi enim sere me nim sa no probi o he bia onim se sere yenim kra se ye nti se yesre ni kwa so you obi e ka se tambia omunum na wanim so nti we are aware. But we need to take to the next level of understanding. Once understanding defines the purpose of something. And tiase echre bibi esum faso. And bibi a wonim sum faso bi na ese wo de ye adwuma na edem faso brew. And the wisdom is the application of what you know correctly to improve your life. Once we have good knowledge and bad knowledge. And is who nim dear papa now the dijuma na ma brabono ekuya just you are wise. But usually it happens that some of us we use the bad knowledge we have to destroy our life. And the ancient and so far, and that one is easier, is default. Send him dear wa enya papa. Now di juma na se wa brabo. Oh, enti nia ye kana no pe yese. Abrebia ehun be hia se osre no. Ese osre. Is a ostra to stress so sere hia pa na anopa measure say why we need to smile is the fact that it helps us to solve more problems and sere boema wo how bibra ye namu abrabom ne free ho ye ne nkrofo nkita hodie me ka say me papa bi na isu akakra na ose yakoye enkrabo ne sem na ofre mo skufi braha me duru a me srosa osire kra chese bia wonka ho onso sire ne yowie no onso wo sire obi de atwetwe obi nko na wo sire obi wo sire genuinely from your heart na obi a otimi esere ne bremu na otimi yekom ne bremu e chese enipa no o control the emotions. Once yes a man is a spirit you have a soul and you live in a body. Onipa home and our cranat lipedia. Now, soul no represent our mind, we emotions and your will. Indeed, what thing can they hear, papa? Once many of us, usually our decisions are based on our feelings instead of life timeless principles. You move be ya jina sieni anamuntu ya na ejina ya tenka. Instead say yehwe abrabo enyina so papa esi ditu anamo. Because associate pastor bia oye mfunso na ekoba se ombese obesa kire fi ho na uja so ne kote na sore. Na members ni bi di na chi. Na omo busa members ni bi say adentina wakodi software chi abra nim say wanza wa yam funso na ombese obe correct. And also I feel sorry for the mistake. The pastor. Okay. And he also didn't achieve because he feel sorry. It's emotional. And sometimes in future we talk about it. So taking decisions based on your emotions, no, and for uncle baby,
Watinka.
Watinka, no. So you feel sorry for someone. Or baby crow, I want to say, maybe send a pair. I want to be uncle on bill. But I was once I said, why no, yeah, it's quite emotional. And the pay ubia or sreni bremu. Ubia oye komuni bremu no. Or emotional stability. Just a ultimation also. So now silence is very, very important because it takes you away from troubles and problems. The tree never can say.
Komu ye. Here per say a tune free or how?
Yes. For harm though. Baby, yen kasa. Ko kasa ho a betro. Na yen hwe mebuse masem bi o kan mebuse Proverbs I think 17:28.
Mebuse trade song. Chichemu aduonu emotwe.
O kan asem wo se even a fool is considered wise when he keeps silent.
Sabi me just me to sabi ana. Bible me timi fa sabi mo. But okase okwasia.
Na jimifo. Yes.
Jimifo mposo miana no a.
Yes.
Even a fool is you buni nyansafo, you buni nyansafo.
Yeah.
Jimifo mpo miana no a you buni nyansafo.
Na obi a once I wode hunu mu ye adwuma. And so once umuana na no. So because I touch a man, I want nkwa wo. So your case will be a foolish. A foolish person is someone who rejects knowledge. Or does not use knowledge to improve his or her life. And it's a foolish there. Everything I can say unwise. A person is unwise. When you don't use idea on seeing you watch there. You are baby a winning baby. Nanti mfanya adwuma no emma so manfa so man na je se e hono wa hunu nyansa tinka wo ye okwase ana wo ejimfo but se de okasa bi no so nti ojimfo che se wonim but once won tim fanya adwuma na omuana no kora once ye ka asem ebi a once de wonim fa hono kora nye papa so yes nkwanka kora nti anase nim se nipa we de won ka bibi papa bia but sa abre no na senko kasa omuana no na de ku ohunu nyansa enti yenhwe ni ye pa
se be because ma wano nya woro
yes enti anopai on say wiase konanim eniema nya ade a emre na ye ne nipa na tie ye ne nipa na dinkita ho na on say building strategic relationship is very important for the next level on say onyame wonam nipa so na boa say wo hwe na obi kura office wonsusu so obeboa nyame na akana koma obi a office obeboa nyame na akana koma. Even promotion comes from the Lord. In this all adwuma mu na ye ma promotion sometimes it is not only based on your abilities and skills. Nyame na amakwan amaya promote o so na ebeba musa oni nipa nkita hodi in the strategic situations and na baby a ye ka asem hia na woluwa no kotutumu abra ye mfre o na de o ka bia no enye correct so they say you can bia yes ewo so na baby enso so ye kom so bibia na do no kotum anso tore bi kura won se wonim Omo ka asem na omu nim but yemfrɛ. Yemfrɛ. The basa na so we. Yes, enti said ya for yetiama being silent can lead to
so we
especially yes.
Number one, not dear, my experience
it improves your mental health. Answer saying so be or casa be cry na man for other nipa na adwene
nipa o mutimi se bi dwene ye bibi no omunima de no dodo no abebre no ankasa bi
oh yes Kasaba.
Titono Krane Kase, intelligent people are always quiet.
Yes.
Titono, red than in the Toda, Nebi.
Yeah. And I Kase, yeah, you see, it's something you need to develop. Your in the pursue a yekum, young Kaubia, we come, Sabi, Ubiana, you have influence. No, yeah, can't Ubia, Westia, yes, as a yekum. Meneme yere mi kunte me boss ese mi yekum ebra wo yekum no and they can say once oh you wise person you are being silent
yes you obi a
yes na obi a wo yekum ne bremu no it enhance your self awareness. Please, in life you cannot improve yourself if you don't know yourself. And the philosophical principle say man know thyself. Number
in no particular order.
Yes.
In no particular order.
What? It improves your mental health. And now we are talking about your self-awareness.
Okay.
It reduces your pressure. Yeah. It can reduce pressure when you keep silent when necessary. Once I say you have but to say I think I can be, but also can be wow. So it does overcome and also yekum. So there's a meaning of when you are say ne mame on za katakasa sa ishutu na ya on say amana amwa odi afrimu ndo no so wasua say on say omo obi emegige no on say nne no ene obi a you see moment ase say onyame de obi apa ma no on di so obi say ewutu no for now on fa please dey na abe by na edne dey on di when you need to keep silent you need to do that. It can reduce your blood pressure and it can enhance your creativity and productivity. And the adwuma omo ye quiet by knowledge. They able to think through, they able to become more productive. So into idea yes and so sir. And now or the smiling it also. I've mentioned that smiling can help you to solve problems easily. It lifts your mood. Once I smile ma when you so they say you ye once we were tempia you ye and the mood no the opposite
no crime some kind of front to talk just say you
yeah
there is rosy cheeks
yes
as I want to
and it gives a sense of inner peace and performance ma wa no say obi osre no kire say no asumdue so and it lowers your stress level so enti and then you between your adwene so say enti obi esre a enye say wanyam na bu so sometimes obi wa wasua na wo yenso say ne ho te no abi ne ho nte no esa osre no be ne ho tane nkwa na osre and I just say when you are nkwa na osre sometimes and you more than there but you need to laugh I say oh shada asre pbb na e ma onsre e boy mo anim kra tene what you say it is smiling and being silent when necessary is a healthy lifestyle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Osre na uye komo bre semu
yeah
emma yes,
it even prolongs your life. Yeah.
So stress, I come was a very killer, papa. Lower stress,
Yeah.
You say stress was raw. Table is one or my abtima also.
Yeah.
Pressure cost. And my unyin.
Yes.
Until you so
we communicate it prolongs your life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Counselor Collins Nana Bunsu, aficionado, PDF. College counselor yeda se pa no pay e wo kira wa ba be kire no nti wo pefutu bia no akọ no ha obetro amana ye ka waka
yeah nti mamen kai ayawfo a omuma no awi BC no omo fi bi ahase de omuma ne ba we niam ay chichire nyina nkra no mo level ye kire won na asanso a kire omo ICT skill computer skills your number di ubetimi afre we Kumasi Nkwade a your office or third floor Chelsea House Edu number is 0244 967 965 0244 967 965 and I'm a WhatsApp here 0272 090 434 0272 090 434. I am a chair. I'm a director, Mr. Boatin Arambut Enterprise Wokuchi chairman of a
Yedasipa councillor that's so by oben for councillor Yankopon Enshra pa Miss Midi at the PSC lady change over Kwesi Park was in the take over no the more cross over na happy birthday in advance Emma Kaboni wa Japa happy birthday in advance 18th August a year birthday na Yankopon boa Meals lunch wa Wasekropon a free photo shoot and a drinks ye be share ewo ho Yedasipa Midi the PSC
OBT agenda. Now this morning I have a conversation with the minority chief whip Kwame Agboja. You better one later. Now Anopedia. Let me start the conversation on a very interesting note, something I don't normally do. I didn't time but another I'm going to quickly. Because me can't need to na among for being edge home. Na quickly. A year or Mampeni Nana Adodanke Kufuado. Saying was there controversy. In fact, Oba Bemono or the Founders Day in the Bible be and come wasem. But just over the weekend, and what about two more say we should reject the notion. Say a year Dr. Kwame Nkrumah is the sole founder of a year Ghana. Ebusapa Anopei, my young country or Mampeni, His Excellency said, Unjai Sadian. You should stop it. Unjai. Emwa. Because all over the world, Utukwany, Nakasa Ofi Ghana, the first name they mention is Kwame Nkrumah. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Yes, we agree. Say President Ewofa, that is JB Dankwa, ne Papa Edora Kufuado, ne other uncles, William Ofratam, Omo Yadie, Omo Boahe, towards the struggle for independence. However, Yakasa Obioma, Obio Oji independence in the Siwo, Emma ye friend Ghana, ye Doctor or Sajefo, Kwame Nkrumah. There's no doubt about it. Now, yeah, His Excellency, Nanado, on the cause of a year, your history no or tano. Ya bako semono, ya manense sano. Was then jintum. In any case, Abushafo, JB Dankwa say, and yasam na yanka krana. Nanka Ghana history no. Na go say did this baby. Because Yakope independence no, he was against it. No, he was against it. This was a letter JB Nanka Troye to show that a banu independence are on pet. Now, the letter says that I exceedingly regret delay in replying your two letters. We are cut out for you. Now, Mushe the next Ebano. Or say that man Kwame Nkrumah. That man Kwame Nkrumah. Sa Kwame Nkrumah no. Sa Kwame Nkrumah no. That man Kwame Nkrumah, who is now leader of government business, has started his tricks again. Nena sa nyoma no. Sa Kwame Nkrumah no. Was just sa nyoma no na CBM. This time, he who is the government is inviting all the political leaders and chiefs to join him to send an ultimatum to His Majesty's government of the United Kingdom for self-government now. Self-government, now. And if rejected, to declare positive action, strikes and boycott, etc. Munti Hani or say, there has been hectic activity all over the place. And on Sunday, we of the UGCC, Munkai, UGCC, no, JB Dan Kwame Nkrumah, another party, no. I'm going for Kwame Nkrumah Baye. And Kwame Nkrumah from UGCC to form his party, CPP. Now, I say, yeah, JB Dan Kwame, yeah, UGCC, no. We met at a great meeting and turned down his challenge flat. Now, Kwame Nkrumah can't about your self-government, no. Yeah, Yabuegu. We have turned down his challenge flat as being an invitation of criminal conspiracy against law and order. This is JB Dankwa's letter. Said now Kwame Nkrumah person the independence ma Ghana no a criminal thing. Etia UK mra. Etia mra. This is the man. This is the man. His Excellency Akufo-Addo say young project no. Or your founding father of this country. And that because they started the struggle into no, Yet to make us say Kwame Nkrumah is the founder of Ghana. We disagree respectfully with the president. We disagree. I disagree. Because JB Dankwa, you can say, Ubi anonko unpaid independence and koyono. So why give him that credit in the first place? Then again, we let away free war. JB Dankwa was arrested. And when ama eye Akua Asiedua, the president on the Asiedua, if he say JB Dankwa who was our own prisons, eye Kwame Nkrumah na ye. Because JB Dankwa was arrested and put into his own prisons. Because omoche no. Now okuta krata why not obetu Kwame Nkrumah by nebu. Obetu Kwame Nkrumah by no. Obetu agu. And omoche no. Go to prison. Who prison. According to history, he died of heart attack. He was prison hall. It's JB Dankwa Asiedua, President Akua Asiedua nyina fi say Kwame Nkrumah chi o chi JB Dankwa nti. Eno ko once I won prison. Yeah, heart attack wu ye. Into the SARS born. And since then, Kwame Nkrumah's name and his image, as far as the JB Dankwa family is concerned, he's not a good man. Men can say Kwame Nkrumah now or 100% perfect. There be I won't say that. In no way Kwame Nkrumah ya sebe enkayi odinsemu, which we understand. However, a cousin modern any normal year to get independence there. Kwame Nkrumah stand tall. In any case, in any case, the struggle for independence starts way back from Minister Sabamo. Any case for them. So if you are celebrating founding fathers, you have to celebrate them. Why just Akua Asiedua and they celebrate you? Is that a pay there? We just want to tell the president that he should stop that. Yeah, man, crime. A man is your history, no. Because JB Dankwa Osman ko some kokun Kwame Nkrumah no muntu na ban no mo kai sa ne bodyguard mi na ye bonu tuo no Salifu Dagati wono energy sa tuo no na Kwame Nkrumah nwu Salifu Dagati. And at the time in America no JB Dankwa no kita paper over the kind of speech Jebusiafo, we will not agree that Kwame Nkrumah is not the founder. Kwame Nkrumah is the founder of present-day Ghana. As simple as that. All over the world, people stand tall. And in this case for struggle for independence, Kwame Nkrumah stand tall. I will end by saying, say a bobo. Black Stars a bobo. I call finance a bobo. Olele Ajebo no. Watono tin Edia Massive Napia. Sirapia J, Watrebako, Mienu, Miensa. We lay nice pass. Ama Muntai, Sula J, Wapase, Michael Essien, Wakonenim, Wako, we yibono, pa, Rama de day trying to ting, Asamojan, Ashego, one a shego no. Asamojan, and a shego no. One a Jacob Magana, Asamojan, and a Jacob Magana. That is how it is. People started the struggle in Nkrumah, got the independence for Ghana. We won't change that. That is the information for the president. Many the minority chief whip Edin Komo. Kwame Abuja. Elections eba. Together with the government will launch the DRIP, the district road infrastructure projects and program. We need the home Komo. Now, Adeba can say we are police ni. Now December 7, we police station. Na say why you so could some money there and the Kofi no bakra because omon twema police for omon twema bia obedin semhunu over December 7 no. So let's enjoy the conversation. Baby. Welcome back. Now this morning my guest is the minority chief whip and also MP for Adaklu constituency, governs conduct. In fact, he used to be the ranking on the Roads and Transport Committee in Parliament. Honorable, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Good morning, Taka.
I hope you're doing well, sir.
By His grace.
Fantastic. How's the constituency doing?
We are on it. It's challenging.
It's challenging?
Yes, challenging.
I see.
Well, I mean, the hardship is not sparing my people as well. So, I mean, unemployment and bad roads and so many things, just as it is everywhere else in the country.
I see. Now, this morning, quite an interesting conversation we're going to have. Let me start with Parliament. you're on recess, but there seems to be some controversy around the recess. I have been in this for quite a number of years, and when Parliament is adjourning sine die, the opportunities are given to both the minority and the majority leadership to give their closing remarks and all that. It didn't happen this time around.
Well, that you call it opportunity.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you are given an opportunity, you don't take it. So you don't complain that the opportunity didn't exist. For about a month now, leadership and Parliament has been aware that we were going to adjourn CDDA. On the day we adjourned. So let me set that record straight. It was not a surprise that we adjourned. It was.
Was it a surprise?
No, at all. It was about 3 days before we adjourned that I could see some moves by my colleagues opposite to basically say that we shouldn't adjourn till 15th for no reason. Then they keep piling bills. I mean,
and you had other bills on there, on the other people to be taken.
But the Parliament did not just. The meeting was not for a week. We've been here for quite a number of weeks, and they had no business. If you look at their back, my colleagues, let's face it, towards the end of every Parliament, you've been in Parliament for a while, attendance is a bit, and then we are in a political season. So many things are happening. Committees are sitting and other things. So it is not the fault of the minority that all business. And I don't remember any time in the history since I entered this house in 2013 that we were able to finish everything we want to do before we go on recess. We just prioritize, and in life you prioritize what you can do within a certain period of time and defer the other ones to another time. So the day we adjourned was the day we all agreed we were going to adjourn. Yes, indeed, our colleagues decided to even introduce new bills, new university bills, new bills that we need to take to first reading, second reading, third consideration, reading. And then third reading. I mean, it was just not realistic. Yes,
I see.
And you notice that let's face it. I mean, you knew you were going to do appointment of Supreme Court judges, for instance. You leave it to 3 or 4 days or 5 days before,
last minute,
and then you try to, railroad the process by making us vet Supreme Court judges as if we are vetting the deputy ministers. Not that I'm saying that we shouldn't vet deputy ministers appropriately. Go to a room at the back somewhere, put one camera there, and the meeting called midnight. I mean, it was just not right, and I don't think Ghanaians expected us to do that. So the things you saw on the last day are nothing new. In any case, Mr. Speaker told us he will adjourn the House on that day,
on Tuesday,
at 4 o'clock, and because of that, we sat till midnight 2 days early on roll. I mean, Monday and Tuesday, we sat till it's not anything new.
So the Speaker did not err?
Not at all. Mr. Speaker, called us many times, leadership, and told us, let's prioritize what we need to do. And then they said that they wanted to finish the affirmative action bill. They wanted to finish, the Ghana civil aviation bills and other things. And if you watch, I have been deep in helping to craft those bills. Throughout the night, we finished them. Then they now started bringing child protection, another $500 million loan, and a tall list of things. And it was just not possible for us to do those.
That is where your caucus has been accused of sabotaging the government, because these loans and, of course, tax waivers would help facilitate development in the country, and you're sabotaging that, Honorable.
Well, first of all, there are two loans. One of the loans looked like the loans we took for the works in Accra, dredging of Odor, which is about $350 million, which they basically squandered. At least they squandered the $200 million, because there was no evidence that any work was done. Yet they forced Parliament, they used their numbers to approve another $150 million. We made a point on those ones. The 250 they claim was supposed to be used for some nebulous things. We said, give us a breakdown. And because we are in an election year, we don't want that money to just go into the treasury. We want that money to be targeted, and so that we can track what the money is. So we said, set up an appropriate entity so that can receive the money, because we are told the total volume of money that is supposed to be received along that line is about 1.5 billion. I mean, giving 1.5 billion to NPP, who is able to print 60 billion or so from the Bank of Ghana, doing the wrong things with our finances is common. So we said do that. And then the other tranche, which is the 250, is supposed to enhance some capacity within electricity distribution.
Right.
So we don't have problem in principles about these things. However, it is not our job to actually take the bill through the committee and bring a proper fit for purpose report to the floor. The report they brought to the floor appears to be very deficient in details to our colleagues. So for instance, there's a line in there out of the $250 million to say that they are spending about $90 million on consultancy.
Well, they said that I mean, Muntaka got it wrong. That's what the has said.
But on the floor, Ureku was on the floor. Honorable Ureku was on the floor. The chairman of the finance committee was on the floor. The question is, we are not in their head. What we are discussing is the report which is printed in black and on black ink on white paper. So did that report actually give the breakdown of the 90 million? No. So Honorable Muntaka was not wrong for raising it. Indeed, after he's raised it and colleagues got concerned, then there was an attempt to give some breakdown, but by that time it was too late. In any case, if NPP members were available on the floor, would they have lost the vote? They claim to be in the majority, 138, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how come the majority lost the vote? It's simply because they don't pay attention to their work. In any case, why would you have majority and be relying on the minority to do your work? Ghanaian didn't give us, you said Ghanaian didn't give us majority in parliament.
Yeah.
So why do you defer your responsibility to us and say that we are sabotaging you? Because if you have 138, Mr. Speaker will never. In fact, you will realize Mr. Speaker actually put the vote and called it, and then realize obviously the years have it. To help them, he decided not to call that one, put the question again, and it was even wider. So he had no choice. And Mr. Speaker is somebody you should know that would not attempt to do the wrong things for anybody, either for NDC or for NPP, because he knows the world was watching. It was obvious that the nays have it, and there's nothing he can do.
I see.
But he's giving them in fact, people don't realize that he's giving them a leeway. So at the end of the day,
marshal their numbers.
No. So at the end of the day, because they actually call for head count.
Yeah.
If we did the head count, we heard Mr. Speaker say that it will be worse because you don't even have the numbers, as I can see. So maybe whenever we return, there might be an opportunity for us all to sit down and get it through if they have the numbers. But they cannot rely on our numbers alone for things like that.
Did you support their decision to gather signatures and compel the Speaker to call back the House? I
think the leadership of the majority, very good friends of mine, ought to reflect on some of the things they do. Even as of the time NPP was 169 and we were 106 in Parliament, there was much more consultative approach to the way we handle business on the floor.
Okay.
Because there are so many things that you realize I was trying to move the constitutional amendment bill to give our compatriots outside of the country the right to participate in whatever they want to participate in. I was been doing that with Honorable Kennedy Osenyako. He was unfortunately not kind of a thing. Guess what? It required 2/3 of members of Parliament. So at a point in time, I hit a roadblock because Mr. Speaker said, look, I can give you all the time to move the bill and pass it within 1 day. However, you just don't have the required number of members to constitutionally do that. So should I be accusing Mr. Speaker that I was moving it? I was the one leading it on behalf of myself and my colleague Kennedy Osenyako. Why am I not accusing Mr. Speaker for sabotaging me? Because he raised an issue of the articles in the Constitution that you need to take to be able to amend sections of the Constitution. So that is how it is. So my colleagues ought to reflect on this. I could hear some of them shouting the day we were adjourning. I'll recall you.
So they started gathering signatures.
Look. It's a mistake.
It's a mistake to do what?
It's a mistake to put up this posture of recall. Even for you to do a recall, you need to have a conversation among leaders. we, on our part, without even their knowledge, notice that there's a big problem looming at this country. The cocoa buying season starts in October. By now, the cocoa syndicated loan should have been in the house for us to approve, for them to have money to go and buy cocoa beans. Yeah. Produce buying company is collapsed. As you know, the government, even the $800 million we approved for them the last time, I'm not sure whether they were able to draw it down. So they are struggling on the market to raise the syndicated loan. We believe that come what may, somewhere in September, whatever they are able to agree with the financial institutions, they will bring it to the house. And we said we are ready to sacrifice whatever we are doing as a people of this country on behalf of the cocoa farmer to come back in September, somewhere in September. So Mr. Speaker actually said it on the floor. And you realize that there was no reaction from even the minority side for patriotism to be recalled. So if we say that we will be recalled in September, if the cocoa syndicated loan is available, so us all to come and do what is right for our country, and you come and list very irrelevant bills, what is the urgency of passing a bill for Mampong University, the local government universities? They are all important. I'm saying that what is the urgency of doing those things? So you list a lot of things, and I will recall you. When you recall, the majority leader, bring 138 people when you do the recall. Otherwise, we'll prove to you that your inability to coordinate and to work as one people can hurt everybody.
Are you suggesting to us that
yes,
you will boycott the recall? When they recall,
boycott, we shall be around, but he must bring 138 people on his side, because since he decided,
unless you cooperate with them,
since he decided to go solo, he must go solo throughout.
But that's going to hurt the development of the.
So tell him that the right thing to do was to coordinate with the minority leader, or actually go on the tangent, the wise counsel of Mr. Speaker, who says that whatever we can do until the day we adjourn. Yeah. Actually, he actually encouraged committees that have got outstanding work to do, to continue working during the holiday. So yesterday, colleagues were here. Yeah. Today, some colleagues are still here. So you make, in fact, we have actually planned to carry out the vetting of the Supreme Court judges sometime before the recall in September.
Okay.
We have agreed to both sides. So we will finish these things, and there will be reasonable business available for us to do, whether 1 day, 2 days when we come back. Then unilaterally, out of frustration, you go and say, I'll recall you, and then the very first day we rise, you append a signature to a memo calling Mr. Speaker. When Mr. Speaker left the country, the very first day we adjourn. So what is the essence of your thing? So I'm saying that since he's decided to go solo,
he should bring his 138 members.
Bring your 137 to do 138 to do a business.
Else they are going to lose everything.
Well, I wouldn't say I won't. Oh well, I mean you know how Parliament works.
Exactly.
You bring 138. Exactly. Every item we take
vote
a
on
vote,
it,
as they have done also by calling for head count. We finish the voice vote. We do a head count. We shall see how it ends. It's not a threat.
I see.
But we can avoid these things if there's proper coordination. So it is not too late. I can use your medium to tell him that yes, you might not be happy with the way we went on recess, but it is not the fault of Mr. Speaker. We were all aware that we were going to rise on that day. Step back, take a deep breath, reach out to your counterpart, the minority leader. Let's see how we can work together to carry this country forward. They never even knew that the cocoa syndicated loan is in crisis. They didn't even raise it. It was Honorable Ato Forsen who reminded them. Are you aware that by the time we are going now, the cocoa syndicated loan should have been approved, so that our cocoa farmers don't end up in October with no money after using all their time, their resources to cultivate cocoa throughout the year. That is supposed to be the concern of members of Parliament, because cocoa is very, very important to our economy, and we are ready to sacrifice to make sure we protect the cocoa farmer and the economy.
Right. That's the Minority Chief Whip, Governs Kwame Abuja, there for you. Now, Honorable, you mentioned Ato Forsen, yes, the minority leader. A few days ago, your caucus was gloating over a decision by the appeal court. Now, some have said that hasten slowly in your jubilation, because technically, it is 2-2 decision. The High Court, of course, the judge there disagreed with Ato Forsen, the minority leader. At the appeals court, it was 2-1. One thought that, of course, Ato should have opened his defense. The other two dissented. So technically, it's a 2-2 decision at the moment. Now they say that the AG is going to the Supreme Court. If he goes to the Supreme Court and he prevails, Ato will be dragged back to the High Court. So he's still slowly in your jubilation. For those who say that, you agree with them?
Well, first of all, I think the entire charge against Honorable Dr. Ato Forson is just trumped up.
I see.
There was no merit in that case.
I see.
I'm a procurement specialist and I'm an architect. I've been to court and I've listened to people on government side giving evidence. Totally ignorant. The most ignorant person in that case is the Attorney General himself, who doesn't even know what do you call it, a letter of credit is, who doesn't know how procurement works. Extremely ignorant and disgraceful.
What is an Attorney General? I mean, he has a better reputation of letter of credit.
Totally ignorant. The only reason that case actually survived one day in a court of competent jurisdiction is his, contrived, wicked mind.
I see.
And we saw the kind of testimony Jakpa gave. An Attorney General who can actually coerce a witness, not a witness, an accused person, the person is accusing, to falsify information and present it to court, which is a crime in itself. That person should consider himself as a criminal, because I'm not allowed.
The AG should consider himself as a criminal,
because what Jakpa said, that you asked me to come and lie to the judge that I'm sick when I'm not sick. You took some, in fact, you showed evidence that even some of the documents that Attorney General is using to prosecute Dr. Ato Forson and Jakpa is information given to him by Jakpa. Yeah. Tell me which Attorney General, not even in Afghanistan, do you have Attorney Generals behaving like that? So I'm saying that the court is simply saying that Dr. Ato Forson's filing of no case should have ended it there. How come it traveled all this while for us to have having all this drama? Only God knows. I believe, at least at appeals court, some judges believe that should have been the case. And it's about ambulance. Today, we all knew that the so-called wrongdoing about the case was that the company, which is not Japan's company, imported these ambulances, brought the parts that will be fitted to make it a fit-for-purpose ambulance. As we speak, we are told those parts are still rotting at the port. And Ghana is the loser. They left that one. And as we know, through Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa, the president has decided to procure parts for ambulances they also bought, and actually, rushed through the procurement and awarded the procurement and the supply of those parts to the daughter and the daughter's boyfriend.
But if the president's daughters are into business,
listen. Would you be saying this?
And they have every right to engage in business. Would you be saying this
if that president was President Rollins, President Mills, and President Mahama? No. The tolerance level for wrongdoing by a section of the public for NPP versus NDC, we need to level out
to balance the scale.
The president's children, we all know what were they doing before the president became president. So you tell me that all of a sudden the president's children are more capable of understanding and having the capacity to supply ambulances to the state of Ghana and get paid $10 million quickly. Before then, there's some level of moral decadence about this.
Are you therefore suggesting that if you're a president, your children cannot engage in any lawful business?
If your children are engaged in lawful business, there's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
Were they engaged in lawful business before he became president? What were their businesses before they became president? Before he became president? Right. Where were they? What were they doing? But there's something about this country. Some of your relatives in government, some of the former relations, ambassadors are met somewhere. The children are not only getting contract, we have to carry on their children's boyfriends. This is not about the persons, it's about the system. Will you expect the next president to do the same thing? That he sees his family
and friends are Ghanaians, the only Ghanaians. Nobody would argue if the president, the children are engaged in businesses we know, and the businesses continue. I will be the first person to support them. Nobody is saying that. But the situations around this just doesn't add up. The same Attorney General, who doesn't even understand what a letter of credit is, understood the contracts that back the supply of parts for an ambulance that almost end up being that the ambulance, the parts are probably going to be more expensive than the ambulance itself. I don't think that is what the average Ghanaian wants from us.
So back to the question, hasten slowly in your jubilation because Ato could be dragged back to the High Court. Do you agree to this?
Not High Court, how?
I mean, because the Attorney General says he's going to the Supreme Court to ask for better interpretation of that. The Supreme Court rules in his favor.
The disgraced Attorney General should be hiding his head between his legs for the disgraceful conduct he's put up in Dr. Atufosin's case. If I were the Attorney General, I would have resigned by now and migrate to another country to go and hide my shame.
I see.
What is he going to do at the court? Of course,
go to the Supreme Court.
Go to the Supreme Court. But aren't you supposed to be clarifying the fact that what were the reasons why you were actually encouraging Japa to lie about his health condition and lie to the court? Those are significant things. The details, the text messages, the lies about you told in court. You should be trying to clarify, bring some sanctity to the office of the Attorney General. So the next time a Ghanaian is in court prosecuted by the Attorney General, we will not think that it's trying to rig the judicial system or to fix the guy. So this rush, he can even go to the Hague.
But I'm sure you'll accept the ruling from the Supreme Court. Even
why,
no. You are celebrating that court decision.
No, you see,
if it doesn't go in your favor,
when there are things that you don't have to be a lawyer to know that this is right or wrong. I'm saying that what is Honorable Dr. Atufosin being tried of? That he approved, he gave approval on behalf of his boss for an LC to be established for a company to supply ambulances to Ghana because Ghana is broke, cannot do that. LCs are not payments. You will need to activate or to activate a certain portion of the LC. That is, you having identified or actually certified that the goods have been supplied before the person is paid.
The court understands all these.
So if the court understands this, then the case is moot. Because Dr. Atufosin did not do anything wrong.
So my question to you is, whether Atufosin did something wrong, dog or not, now you are going to the Supreme Court.
Yes.
You are hailing the appeals court judges for upholding Dr. Atufosin's decision. If the Supreme Court, in the event, they rule against you, are you equally going to accept the verdict?
My point to you,
will you accept the verdict?
My point to you is that you are missing the point. The point is that the Attorney General has misconducted himself. He should be more worried. Honorable Dr. Atufosin has no capacity to endanger the life of anybody through misconduct, through miscarriage of justice. The Attorney General can do that this morning, can actually wrongly put you and I in trouble. And that Attorney General discredited, who has exhibited what you can call almost a criminal conduct based on what Japa said in court, is still at post. You should be worried about that and not be worried about an innocent minority leader who is being persecuted by a very wicked man called Attorney General.
I see.
Yes.
I mean, that's the minority chief of
and since then, he hasn't got the guts to come to Parliament to do any of his own work. He's ashamed.
Oh, okay.
He's got bills on the floor. He can't come and do them. He's always sent his deputy, and we tell him the deputy is your deputy. He can come and she can come and or they can come and do some work sometime. You have time to be prosecuting people at court. Come to the chamber and do your business. Why don't you balance your work here? Because sometimes Dr. Atufosin will come to the chamber, do work including government business, go to court because the court insists he must be there personally, and then come back and continue to do the work. Why can't the Attorney General do the same thing? Why is it the case that he can decide that he thinks he's Attorney General only to prosecute innocent people? Come and balance the work. do your work at court and come and do your work in the
His presence in Parliament would really not amount to anything when his deputies are here.
If Dr. Toku is not giving evidence, what is he doing in court on daily basis? Why does he need to be there if he's got lawyers? If he's not giving evidence, he's not providing anything. Why does he need to be physically there? The same question you're asking. You see, Attorney General can send his deputies.
His deputies, of course.
So why can't Dr. Tofosin send his lawyers to court when he's not giving evidence to just sit in there?
No, you know the judicial system doesn't work like that. I mean, in court,
okay, the parliamentary
the accused must be right.
No, there's no. You can be represented if you need to be there to actually give evidence. Fine, right. But I'm saying exactly that yes, there's no reason for Dr. Tofosin to be there every day that the court is sitting. The same way, if that is good for the judiciary, then it's good for Parliament that when you bring your business to the floor, come and pursue, because it's a policy you are driving. Be the one driving the policy. It's as simple as that.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Now let's move away from that and let's talk about the 2020 election, which is a few months away. Big deal. Now you've seen, in fact, just yesterday, a day ago, the district road program, that's the DRIP, that was launched at Independence Square. The government has procured some equipment to the district assemblies to make sure that they improve on the road infrastructure. This is a testament from the president that they have fulfilled their promise of developing roads across the country. You have been a former ranking member of the Roads Committee. Clearly, this is in order, right?
Well, I believe sincerely, sometimes the president means well when he says things. You remember you were in this house when he came to give a State of the Nation address and shouted, we have constructed 10,800 kilometers of new roads. When I took him on, you saw what happened. It's a total, let me put it well, because that is a presidency and truth. The 10,800 kilometers included pothole patching, roadside weeding, reshaping. Are those new roads constructed? They issued press statements against me, they massaged it, they said so and so, they rationalized it. 10,000 kilometers of road is between here and China.
10,000 kilometers of road?
Yes.
Between here and China?
Yes.
I see.
Did you see if there are 10,000 kilometers of new roads constructed in this country? We'll see it visibly. It turns out he was probably misled. He backed away from it.
He may have gotten his figures wrong, but the reality on the ground is they are doing a number of roads in the country, which you
I can agree with you that as we speak, the NPP has awarded projects to the tune of maybe 110 billion Ghana cedi award. Majority of the road contractors are nowhere to be found. They are not on site. As we speak, government owes road contractors to the tune of perhaps approaching 15 billion. That is certificate, works done and paid for. 15 billion thereabout approaching. The reason the roads are abandoned, the road project towards your community or in your community is abandoned, is simply because the patriotic Ghanaian contractor have gone to the bank to take loans to do contracts. After the raising certificates for years, they are not being paid. So they stop work. That is the reason the roads are in a deplorable state. I listened to the Common Fund Administrator. I've listened to the President, the local government minister, who is new in his role. Yes, the NDC has also in the past procured some equipment for district assemblies, including my assembly.
Okay.
If you go to Adaklu District Assembly at Waya currently, you will see some graders and some things standing there. They can't even find 10,000 cedis to repair my grader.
You can't find 10,000 cedis?
No, in Adaklu.
So, there are already equipment.
Of course, many assemblies have got equipment.
Many assemblies have got those equipment that we are talking about.
Yes, that they cannot maintain because they don't have the money.
But we're going to buy a new one.
Yes, we are going to buy a new one. But let's unpack it gradually.
Okay.
How are we buying this? It was Parliament in the review of the Common Fund Administration's formula. Notice that they've been shortchanged by government to the tune of close to 3 billion Ghana cedi. You know, government is supposed to hand over about 5% of total revenue based on the case of Honorable Kodo and Co. Yes. That money was not given to them. So we decided that let's use part of that money to support the district assemblies and other things. Quickly, they decided to rather embark on a campaign attempt. 4 months to election. You want to commit billions of cedis to buy equipment, and not buy equipment for even every district assembly. I don't know if you are aware that the equipment is not for every district assembly. Some
for every district.
No, because they haven't bought everything for the 260 assemblies. So some assemblies will get, some may not get. That is the reality. So currently, they would attempt to share this to some constituencies, and guess what? I am not against the provision of the capacity to these assemblies to do reshaping and other things. But the presence of a grader in Adaklu is not equal to reshaping. They need to have money to buy the fuel. Maybe a grader needs a drum of diesel per day or a year or so. A drum of diesel today is 3,200 cedis. On regular occasions, assemblies beg MPs. 6 March, Honorable, can you give us 10,000 cedis to feed children when we are going to do 6 March? They are writing a BEC. Honorable MP, can you borrow us 6,000 to buy water for them? The assemblies are broke. If you find that some of them have committed, they are trying to fix some broken school somewhere, awarded contracts, you are not giving them the money to fix those things in their communities. You are going to bring them more debt, and you know how they are going to pay. They are going to basically spend under a local government structure. They are going to spend majority of the monies belonging to the assemblies under this assembly's common fund, the 5% in Accra. So that money will never step to their communities. Is it the kind of, what is local government governance about this? When the monies that should go for decision making to address local issues are being spent in Accra by few people. So today, we are committed to spending billions of buying equipment, and I saw very flowery words, we've set up this, we've set up this. The entity that supplied those ones that they can't maintain today is the same entity supplying this.
Oh, I see.
I mean, so this idea, and then guess what? All of a sudden, we should assume that district assembly will get a tipper track and other things. So the roads in Adaklu. So what about the roads which were awarded to contractors? Because what you are trying to do now is to go and do reshaping or maintenance on roads under contract. So the road contractor who have sacrificed, used his house to take credit to go and start that project of which you are not paying, you can go and rot.
So would this be a misplaced priority of a sort?
It is totally misplaced, because some of the assemblies, all they need is some money to refurbish the equipment that are in a fairly good condition.
Execute the same job.
So that you can give the rest of the money to the assemblies to pay for the contractors helping to fix the broken schools, fix they pay disability. Look, Common Fund is owing disabled fund, is owing youth employment agency, owing everything in billions. Common Fund indebtedness to government indebtedness to Common Fund is in the tune of another 5 billion. They are not able to pay. Instead of you paying this money to the assembly, because it is the assemblymen, the district chief executive, who ought to make a determination as to how they want to spend their money. They are in the communities who know that the cheap compound at this community needs the nest. Needs accommodation so that you can stay there and do work. They have probably decided to put up community contributing some money to put up something for there. Now maybe they've reached a roofing level. The assembly is supposed to give them roofing sheets to do this. You ignore these things and give them grader. How is that grader supposed to make the nest in that community have accommodation to treat sick people there?
I see, but let me move away from that, and because I was talking about the election when I brought in the road issues now. The NDC seems to suggest to Ghanaians that 2024 election, it's either you win or you win. There is no loss for you. I remember the chairperson and her commissioners were in the chamber. Would you say that their engagement with you at the time, you were able to satisfy your curiosity in terms of the election manipulation and rigging as you've been drumming home?
Well, let's use 2020 as an example.
Okay.
The Electoral Commission did not shoot to kill anybody. The Electoral Commission staff were not the ones who murdered 8 people across the country at polling stations.
That's true.
Some elements who were seen in official security uniform did that. So if we were to go by that, some of the places our compatriots were killed, the NPP ended up forcefully taking those parliamentary seats. Injustice. If the 2020 election were fair, there's no way NPP will come close to having a number close to NDC in the chamber.
I can't blame them.
But for the sake of peace, we have decided to take the pain.
Okay.
Now, the EC staff in some places, let's go to some of the by-elections we did. Some EC staff seem to be misconducting themselves, not doing the right thing, and other things. And when we started this process, the build-up towards the 2024 election, the EC, especially Dr. Bosman's posture, was a bit erratic. They started by saying that the only way we could do registration in this country is to use Ghana card. Until we consistently said that a vast majority of Ghanaians did not have that. In fact, NIA was staffed with money to be able to actually execute the task that they've been given.
Right.
They did everything. I remember one when Dr. Bosman said that unless there's a force majeure, that's what they are going to do. But civil society, yourselves, the media, the public, continued to advocate, and the EC backed out of that.
Yes.
The EC data shows that almost half, or at least not half, significant number of people who registered and who will be registering between today and other things are using the guarantor system because they physically didn't have the capacity to do that. Secondly, you need to generate your digital address and other things. There are still places, huge communities in Adaklu today, where you cannot, even if I'm there, you call me, you cannot get connectivity. So how is a guy supposed to generate digital address when you don't have internet connectivity in your area? So we have issues. So our point is that, yes, the Ghana card issue is a future thing. That future can even be the next election after this one, if we put our things right. I must say that the posture of the Electoral Commissioner and her commissioners in Parliament the last time they were here was different from all other ones that have been engaged in the past. When
this is a good move.
Yes,
good move to the minority.
In the past, when they come, it's as if they coming to take it or leave it. This time round, what were the issues? Ghana card, indelible ink, the certainty about the day we are supposed to be voting, and other things were the concerns raised by the public, civil society, the media, IPAC. These were the questions we had for them. She came and confirmed that indeed the talk about henceforth we are not going to have indelible ink was a misstep. We are going to use indelible ink. So they don't need to. We don't need to applaud them. It was totally unnecessary for them to even say that. In any case, two. The issue about certainty of the day we are supposed to do an election. Oh, we'll do it in November. We'll do it this thing. She settled that one as well. The uncertainty about which CI we are going to take into the election was settled the day they came. Okay. It is the existing CI. That's one. So, and we have actually we have already conducted elections using that CI. So what it means is that the average Ghanaian who is interested in voting knows that it is not going to be different from the processes we used in the 2020 election. I think that is a good way of Electoral Commission updating Ghanaians through their representatives in Parliament.
So you were satisfied with their responses?
For the last
meeting,
it is a vast improvement on the previous engagement.
So what it means is that in this election, if the NDC loses,
I'm saying
you will accept.
That's what I'm saying. That talk is cheap. What shows that they will do exactly what they came to say here. There's one thing saying that I will conduct free and fair election. As you know, did they not say that in 2020 election? And yet she was announcing results and changing it and everything. So we are not leaving our fate in the hands of the EC. It is our job as a party to put forward cogent proposals that address the issues that matter to our people: unemployment, nepotism, corruption, bad infrastructure, and all those things, as an alternative to the current bad situation we have. Two, whilst the people are convinced that there's time for change, 8 years of bad governance is enough, we want an alternative, we want a change. It is our job to encourage the protection of that voter to the polling station to cast his or her vote, and make sure that we use all legitimate means to protect that voter's vote.
So after protecting the vote and the ballot and all that, and you still lose the election, will you accept it? Because some have raised concern that this election, either you win or you lose.
We are not going to lose this election. NDC will win this election. Why? Because we have seen the decadence of society under the NPP, which the Ghanaians don't like. We have gone around the country and spoken to people who have said we have made a mistake. You have interviewed a lot of people. We've made a mistake, including leading members of the NPP, for voting for them. We are committed to vote for you. However, we don't want you to come and repeat what NPP has done. We don't want President Mahama to come and award projects, ambulance supply to the daughter and the daughter's boyfriend and things like that. We don't want to see that. We don't want you to repeat the same things, because President Mahama gave them a firm assurance that we are not going to repeat those things. We are not going to have a situation where journalists will be chased, beaten up and murdered and no justice for them. President Mahama has made a firm commitment that he will deal with corruption even under his own government. And indeed, the only evidence is that even when President Mahama was in government, members of his government were actually taken to court and jailed.
True.
That cannot happen under President Akua Asiedua. He will make sure he clears everybody who is accused of something, because he doesn't want his government to be labeled as they were corrupt. So there's a clear difference between Dr. Bawumia and then President Mahama. Clear difference. One, even when he was the head of the economic management team, did a fantastic job. Today, out of that, look, I gave you a figure of about a road project awarded currently over 1 billion. Do you know that in 2016, the total appropriation bill was just about 50 billion? It means that the debt in the road sector today is even bigger than the entire, appropriation bill in 2016. But what did we get out of 2016? We got Circle, we got Tamale Airport phase 1 and 2, we got Kumasi Airport phase whole airport, the MPS project at Tema, which is giving us a lot of revenue at the port there, Terminal 2 rehabilitated at Kotoka, Terminal 3 brand new, and all this. Out of the 50 billion we spent up to, they are spending about 100 billion on road sector alone. There's not much to see. I will not sit here and say no road project was completed under the NPP. I'm above that kind of politics. We've seen some road projects started, and majority of them not completed. Some started, completed. Flyovers and interchanges, a number of them started, majority of them uncompleted as we speak. Yes, so the difference is clear. But for me, it is better to look at a leader who says, my brother, we can't do this, or I can't do this because I don't have the means. And a leader who has got a penchant to think that you are so gullible to lie every day when the thing is in front of you. So it is about the differences between Dr. Bawumia and President Mahama is this: a penchant for telling untruths, and somebody you can trust because he will tell you what we are capable of doing, and the records say show that.
So you are winning this election. We
are winning. But let me tell you this: there's something that the Ghanaian is concerned about. That if you talk to people, and you talk to people like, because you are a senior journalist, you talk to people. I buy no DA, and I get that every day. I buy no DA to Amamu, but me to me protected DA. As for the vote, we'll vote for you. But will you not sit down for them to cheat you again like 2020? That's what caused me to say that. In 2024, when you are asked, you are a security person, you are asked to go and provide security at any polling station, any region, and you've turned yourself into an assassin, deciding that I'm going to shoot and kill innocent people. When you are on that, when you are heading home, leaving home to that place, know that in the process of people defending themselves, because there's no part of the Constitution which says that when I see somebody, when you walk out of my office and I'm seeing you off, and somebody pounds on you with a knife trying to stab you, nothing says that I should let him finish, then I go to court. The reasonability in me should make me attempt to protect you. When 2024 election in December, we promise that we shall do everything within the Constitution to defend ourselves. We are no longer going to be victims of peace, because the Constitution says
you are preaching violence.
No,
preaching violence. I mean,
Mr. Parker,
let the law take its course.
Mr. Parker, perish the thought.
Yeah.
If somebody enters your house, begins to stab your mother, can you describe the process, what you will do immediately to them?
Or perhaps, I mean, one could easily want to defend.
Good. That is all we are going to do. And I can guarantee you, we are going to do that. We shall defend ourselves. We shall no longer be victims of peace.
You should want to be speaking to the IGP, the Ghana Police Service, the newly appointed deputy IGP in charge of operation. I mean, to ensure that there is security. Why security?
There was security. There was security at Ayawaso West Wagon when my colleague Sam George was attacked. There was security at all those places that 8 of our compatriots were killed.
Dampari is a new IGP.
Yes, I have. In fact, I am the last person who would bastardize any institution in total.
Yeah.
Because I think there can be bad MPs. There can be a bad president. There can be bad minister.
Right.
There can be a bad pastor.
Right.
So surely there can be bad policemen. But I believe a vast majority of security personnel in this country set out to do just what the Constitution asks them to do. But I also don't have any doubt that there are miscreants amongst them.
True.
Through the way some of them are recruited and put. We see things even in this house. We listen to some of them. Some of them feel that they are agents of the government. But maybe the average policeman sees himself as a peace officer who want to make peace. For those ones, they will help us maintain peace at those polling stations. So nobody is preaching violence. We are saying that on the day, of course, if I see somebody attacking somebody and then there's a policeman there, the first thing I will do is to tell the policeman, look at that. But what if they actually jump on the policeman as well? And there's only one policeman 1 hour away, the next policeman is 1 hour away. What are we supposed to do? We should wait until the policeman and the other person is lynched. Then we go to court and say we are seeking justice. And in the case of the 8 people who have been killed, no justice till today. I think it is reasonable to believe that 2024 election will be different. And I believe that a good number of my colleagues from the other side who are NPP also want peace. I don't believe they will be part of any plot to do this. I have no doubt that we have seen evidence of people close to government utter words. You live in Ashanti region. You hear what the Ashanti regional chairman says sometimes.
Yeah.
They have 1,000 ways of winning election.
1 million ways of winning election.
There's only one way of winning election. Campaign, convince the people, let the vote be cast.
Exactly.
When the vote is declared, there's no other way of determining.
But you don't know the strategy they will adopt in winning the election. Some of the maybe midnight calls, maybe midnight registration, going to your
I'll be surprised if one to me will be making calls to anybody. I'll be surprised. And those who would go and say they will win the election with a strategy we don't understand. No. If it is genuine, everybody will understand. But I can guarantee you, NPP knows they've lost this election. They are trying ways and means of how do we cheat and other things. And I'm saying that time is up. No more. No more are we going to sit down to say that, oh, they came, they are beating us up, so we'll leave it for the sake of it. Peace Council, we have 4 months to election. If you have any interest in maintaining peace, be calling people to order. be making sure EC is doing the right thing, be speaking to the police and all those people who will be part of the election security, be talking to the political parties to get the understanding of what is going to happen. You don't wait and start issuing statements when things have gone wrong. You understand? Peace Council, the best way to maintain peace is to seek justice. What has Peace Council said about the killing of the 8 people so far? What have they said?
I don't recall, but you mean they have not said anything about it?
No, you are generally. If they say you report it, and now you, in fact, I get information from you because you publish it. What have they said about it? If they've tried once, they didn't get anything. What steps have they taken again? I have confidence in the police and everybody who will be part of this election. I have no doubt that there will be people whose aim would be to create mayhem, create situations. We've heard all sorts of things on election day. Go and shoot into the air, let the people run, they do this, beat people up, make sure the ballot papers don't appear there. Send fake indelible ink to some places, create this so that you cheat. This time round, the onus is on us as well to do whatever it is to protect the ballot. And I'm sure, inshallah, by the grace of God, this election will be free and fair. And many of the concerns we have may actually be just another day passing in peace, because I don't have any enemy from the other side of my colleagues in this house. We are all the same people. Right. It's the same country we have. But it is the collective responsibility of all of us to know that when you serve for 8 years and the people say they don't want you, you go and prepare and come. You come from Ashanti, you are reporting from a very strategic region, Ashanti region, where a founding member of the NPP, Alan Tremantin, is totally disappointed in his own government and deciding that people should, campaigning that people should not return the NPP to government. You have a situation where Dr. Bawumia himself is distancing himself from the records of his own government.
But he has his own vision. He's not a president.
No,
he has his own vision.
What vision? What vision?
He's going to be his own man.
So he's not his own man now.
Of course, the president is his own man, and the president was in the chamber. Have we ever? We should blame him from any.
Have we ever heard Dr. Bawumia criticize any of the policies that he sits in cabinet and everything, lead the economic management team to do? Why is Dr. Bawumia no longer giving any lectures about the economy? Today he's talking about religion, religious fanaticism. Then another day he says, we are all the same. Attending every mosque, every shrine, every church. Dr. Bawumia doesn't want to talk about the economy. He's talking about digitalization. He knows very little about digitalization. If there's anybody in this country who is a public servant whose record on digitalization is unmatched, is Dr. President Mahama.
I see.
The record of transforming Ghana from analog and all those things, from President Rawlings all the way to this. Where was NPP is a record in any digitalization? Where is it? Just a given that today, by virtue of investment globally, most things are done digitally. It is nothing new, and some African countries are far in advance of us. So this idea that Dr. Bawumia is going to be his own man, he's not going to be his own man. He's going to be the new kid by the same cabal who have destroyed our country. It's the same. It's going to be the arrowhead of the same cabal. You vote for Dr. Bawumia, you are voting for a third term for President Akufo-Addo and his team today. Yes, that's what it is. He can never be his own man, because if he's his own man, he should go and even campaign today. And the NDC will support him in Parliament. That you cancel the e-levy, you cancel the.
He says you when the e-levy. He said that.
That when?
Oh, in his bold vision speech, he said that when he comes, when he comes, election, he will come.
Where will he be coming from to where? You are there. You are not coming from anywhere. You are there. Tell him that, Dr. Bawumia, you are not coming. You are already there. So where is he coming from? You are in Flagstaff House. Where is he going to? You are there. Fix it. We can help you even raise. If you give me a call today, I can start a private member bill to abolish e-levy tomorrow when we come back. So Dr. Bawumia can never be himself. He's somebody you can never trust on anything. When Dr. Bawumia tells you look up, look down, because on record he's told too many untruths. He can't say one thing when you go and check it's another thing.
Honorable, we are wrapping up in the next 5 minutes. Now, finally, we've spoken all about the government, and one of the things your caucus has been talking about is unemployment.
Yes.
Now, there seems to be some level of recruitment drive from the government. You should be praising them. I mean, of course, you've criticized them enough, but I know you need to be a very honest politician. You should be praising the government for recruiting individuals, nurses and midwives are being recruited, GS doing some recruitment, YA is doing some recruitment, and all of that. Even NSS, they are given post-NSS contracts, at least 6 months, for those who are going to end their service. This is good news for you.
I am very happy about this question. I will be very happy any day for any Ghanaian, especially young people, to get an opportunity to make ends meet. I can imagine if I finished school 5 years, 10 years, still at home, 25, 30, unable to leave my mother's home to fend for them myself and probably look after her, unable to get a partner and get a place so that we can raise a family simply because I can't make ends meet. So I'll be the first to support any effort that will lead to the creation of opportunities for our people.
Great.
In the past, the record shows that whenever there's election coming, there's a knee-jerk reaction to create schemes. NAPCO, this. Give them very disrespectful remuneration and tell them that it's 700, but if you were not employed, you wouldn't even get this 700. Meanwhile, the person have got a degree in civil engineering from the university. And all these things would I mean, so many, they've done it, planting for food, billions spent. Today, food is more expensive. We've done these schemes before. Yes, we are hearing recruitment into the security services.
Yeah.
A very clandestine activity initially. Minority leader and our ranking on defense and interior, Honorable Agaga, raised the issue. Out of that, we got a little bit of victory for the Ghanaian by the Ministry of Interior accepting to go and do the publication. In the past, they decided to, they claim that we have the names already.
Yeah.
There's still a possibility that they will still go ahead and just fix their people who they've already got a list. I just hope that the publication will lead to genuine Ghanaians getting it through the system and getting employment. Let's talk about the numbers. When my good friend, the Interior Minister, came to Parliament, he refused to answer the question as to how many people they are recruiting. If you are Interior Minister, you cannot be frank with your own colleagues in Parliament. We are recruiting because Chronicle published 11,000.
11,000, yes.
He said it's not 11,000. Then we said, opportunity has come. Tell us it's 5,000, 6,000. He's refused to pay. The fact that he's refused to answer the question means that they still are bent on doing the wrong thing. Because if you want to do the right thing, all you need to do is, we are recruiting 7,000. So the Ghanaian public, including MPs, can track the 7,000. Where are they? Who are they? Then we can check their background. But the fact that you are not ready to do that means that you intend to do the wrong thing.
I see.
You mentioned the nurses and other things. Yes, there are a number of cohorts of nurses or healthcare personnel recruited in this country. Well, I mean, completed training who don't have a job. And a lot of them are leaving. Even though some of them who have got jobs are leaving simply because of the level of remuneration. So when you see a medical doctor is not the poorest paid in Ghana, but they also leave simply because of the condition of service. And I agree with them. I'm not saying that we have all the money to pay them like their counterparts in UK and other things, but we need to pay them more decently. If we pay them enough, there will be the opportunity to retain many of them who are experienced to work with us. Now, if you open the opportunity for new nurses to be recruited, I will applaud it that, yes, by all means, let's recruit them. Great. But that is not the end of it. What will be their remuneration that they don't get recruited today and tomorrow morning that Kutuka leaving the country. After getting the experience we get, then other countries take them and give them better conditions of service. Okay. So nobody in NDC is against the recruitment of any young person.
We are looking at the condition of service.
We are looking at the condition of service and the processes. Would that be fair to the Ghanaian, or it will be the same process of just recruiting party full soldiers only? That is what it is. It is not about giving protocols or going to your how do you call it, your constituency party and say, party chairman, bring this number of things and other things. That's not what we're talking about. So this idea is nothing new. Government have consistently said they are recruiting people, but guess what? The more they recruit, the worse our unemployment rate. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
does it not tell you that today, as if you listen to the speech of the minority leader at Tamale, it means that 2/3 of the people, people capable of working in this country don't have any job. The situation is dire, and NDC will support any effort to create meaningful and sustainable jobs. That is what the 24-hour economy is about. It's about jobs, jobs, jobs.
Right, Honorable. I'll thank you very much for your time. We will come again.
I was going to give you a bit of the 24-hour.
Okay, so that's fine. I mean,
I hear people talk about 24-hour. One section of MPP says it will not work, it will not do this thing. Others said that it's already in existence.
Yeah, people are already practicing 24 hours.
Some of them say, they are not doing 24-hour economy, they are building factories and other things. I said, fantastic. If you're actually building factories, we'll actually turn those factories to work 24 hours. So we are not saying that 24-hour economy is about something from what you don't know. We are saying that we'll use look at our current prevailing condition, whether it's agro processing, whether it's provision of services to provision of public services, whether it's construction or anything, whether it's manufacturing. Create the environment. Instead of giving, for instance, giving tax waivers, you can give tax credit. Assuming you are producing, let's say, food, and there are graduates from biochemistry department, Legon, whatever, who don't have a job. I think if a government decides that we identify your company as having potential to produce food for export, or producing something for export and to feed the domestic market, if you take on this number of graduates or qualified people, instead of you paying this tax, we can give that tax to you as credit, as long as you maintain these people on your, on your payroll and keep paying them decent. We can forgive you this, because these people, when they get their salary, go and plow it back to the economy. They pay their children's school fees, they buy fuel and other things. So it is simple thinking, and it's about jobs. So people think we should come up with, I don't know what they're expecting. 24-hour economy is a critical part of addressing unemployment. Even the nurse, the doctor, Parliament, judiciary, and I want to commend judiciary for even taking the step to extend the times within which courts can sit, even if they don't sit till midnight. The fact that they've extended it is good news. One day we can do it even up to 12 midnight. So that is what it is, and I believe that Ghanaians have actually understood this. The real implementation details will come in the manifesto. Yes, exactly. And then in when we are implementing it. So, but I think as an idea, it has received widespread endorsement, and all we need now is to put the details together and then unleash it. If God gives us give us grace and we win the election. Yes, exactly.
Honorable, thank you very much for your time. That's Honorable Kwame Gavins Abuja, Adaklu MP, and also the Minority Chief. Honorable, just look into just a minute. Speak to Ghanaians directly just a minute into this camera.
Well, I am very proud of being a Ghanaian. If there's anything like reincarnation and I would like to come back to this country. It's the most beautiful country. I don't see myself as disadvantaged in anything. However, I think even in my personal life, there are things I can do better. The same way those leading us can do better. Let's accept our challenges. Whether you are a pastor, you are selling tomatoes in the market, you are the president, you are the minister, you are the opposition leader, your actions and inactions matter. And every time you take those steps, think about those around you. How does this reflect on the lives of those people around you in your village and other things? And I think the average Ghanaian love each other. We are one people, irrespective of our tribe, our religion, and we want to go into the 2024 elections in December and come out even stronger as one people, irrespective of which party wins. And I know NDC will win. The new NDC government is not going to be a government for only NDC people. President Mahama has has always been for everybody. We are going to lead this country for everybody. So that even the disappointed NPP member will have a stake to play in making our country better for us and the future yet to come.
Once again, thank you very much. My name is Kwesi Parker-West, and that's where we end the show.
Right, it was for it's in something quite simple. No king na say NDC on the win election. No, there was one time BBC no say election no say ankoma from bejetum because I say NDC for no say it is either they win or they win. Lose enka a year or some what say on there. When say election there, ya dia on be winning. Wakache Peace Council, say Peace Council, I'm sorry. Na fe bibi also we be say the election be peaceful no. On my year. Say the election be peaceful. So yeah the be say na me kwedie am bon kai say uti o ya onya kata onya code kaka kofa kojak mo pro code ne bi kojak pro code ne be kama pa oben bi o doctor bi e be bia from 10302 678999 0302678999 open the door to our call Kojak Farmer or Kanshi Drag Lane in Accra. Open the door to our one person to cry Kwabutre Kosia de Koye Juma make for Express Group amount and then pay. But Express Group connection man same be him. Woko show on crat town wow and wo to kan wabso Canada. Woko UK, woko Australia, woko USA, woko Germany, a patch all. We shall check quine a war Kumasi almost for labor. Labor runabout Accra omo first slide kanashi tema omo community la shibi omo golf filling station Shinyani omo server house omo high court Tamale omo Ayana building that is close to Tamale Teaching Hospital. I'll pay for a year Express Group on 055 555 0067 055 555 0067 and 0249 000448 0249 000448 Senebeya akwentu plans I will be adon on betimi ahwe na omaboa bidin e de Kwesi Parker-West no pay me na ekua na edijuma nyame admo china Wednesday the 7th of August 2024 ebesiamba with another edition in the panel Bible Trasi na fenya koso Ghana bia no ye dia bro I'm glad my bisa for ye be share. Have a good morning.